The Jeffrey Epstein files, if and when they're released, will expose Epstein, detailing his prolific atrocities once and for all. They will expose the monstrous human beings who collaborate with him in doing reprehensible harm to untold numbers of girls and young women. They will expose the sprawling number and network of perverts and deviants who use their collective influence and wealth to violate humanity in ways that are unthinkable to decent human beings. But until that day comes, the Epstein files have already exposed so much more. They've exposed how Attorney General Pam Bundy has spent recent months bastardizing her position over the legal system of this country in order to prevent these files released, knowing full well that her boss, Donald Trump, his name is all over them. The Epstein files have already exposed Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, who has wielded his congressional influence to obstruct a vote on their release, proving his Christianity that he professes to be strong on is nothing more but fraudulent performance art. They've exposed Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, who has manufactured an irresponsible and racist and unprecedentedly dangerous attack on former President Barack Obama in the hopes of distracting the cult from their leader's criminality. They've exposed daily the White House Press Secretary Carolyn Levitt, who stands before the nation every day, a cross dangling from her neck as she lies and gaslights the American people on behalf of a serial predator. They've exposed the Republican Party, a vile, morally inverted cadre of broken people who are largely marching and voting in lockstep to protect predators and pedophiles and laugh in the face of their survivors. The files have exposed the moral bankruptcy of the conservative Christian church, whose religious convictions have all of a sudden evaporated when given the choice between exposing a rapist, regardless of who they are and what office they hold, or ensuring them more power in government, including the Supreme Court itself. They've exposed such supposed leaders of religion like Franklin Graham, who continue to fight hollow and empty and lying culture wars against the LGBTQ, while staying tethered to a man whose resume of moral filth can fill entire skyscrapers. They've exposed the mainstream media, who, by large, continue to bend the knee and wear kid gloves when it comes to the most lawless sitting president in our nation's history. But perhaps most infuriating, and perhaps the most heartbreaking of all, the Epstein files have exposed tens of millions of Americans, ordinary citizens, fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, uncles, grandparents, teachers, pastors, soccer coaches, business owners, police officers, soldiers, our neighbors, who have continued moved the goalposts of what they deem morally allowable when it comes to the most vile ignorant, springtime object of their cultic fervor. Once again, people we know and love, people we live beside, turn their heads, revert to what about this and what about that. They retreat into silence, bunker down the tribalism, and discard their faith, and abdicate the most elemental responsibilities of human beings. Our friends, family members, church friends, co-workers, social media acquaintances have lost the plot of humanity. That because of some cocktail of misogyny, political tribalism, self-preservation, or simply cruelty, they are siding with sexual criminals rather than their survivors, and will never be able to unlearn any of this. Hopefully the Epstein files will be released so that every violent predator, regardless of political persuasion or political affiliation or position in or out of government, will be made accountable, having their long concealed darkness revealed. But even if that never happens, they've already learned so much about the leaders and voters and occupants of this nation, and that damage simply can't be fathomed. CTP know the truth, God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.